Hello, hello.
Hi.
I think it's
Welcome
so
back.
funny. Welcome back. Yeah.
Welcome back to Triple Threat Snap Out with Ginger Griffin and Alex Hensky.
Little feature on the side here.
I love it. Love the snapping.
I want to share something, just a cute, happy moment with you.
Okay.
So over the weekend, I celebrated my 1 year anniversary with my partner, and I've never had, and no one's ever bought me jewelry before, but he got me this gorgeous diamond ring.
I love it. Love it.
I was like, oh man, diamonds, so
It's
nice.
hard to see with that bling, and
I mean,
it's like flashing.
blinding.
Blinding. Oh,
But I was
fabulous.
like, oh, he's got great taste, I will say.
He does. It's beautiful. I love it.
How are you? What's been going on with you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
How is the summer in the? Do you say like at the lake? Do you say
I say the mountains.
the mountains? Yeah, mountains.
Mountains.
How's the summer in the mountains? What is the weather like over there?
It's perfect. Blue
Is it?
skies, 70
Oh.
something. It's fabulous. Yes, it's absolutely fabulous.
Ginger, for listeners, viewers, hello. So funny. Ginger is telling me every week, come visit. And my partner and I are definitely going to. But every time she updates me, it's like she's living in a little slice of paradise. It's so nice.
It's heavenly.
It is heavenly.
Absolutely. So, well, welcome back to Triple Threat Snap Out. And we are thrilled to share step 5 with you, which is all about creating your true identity, actually remembering your true identity.
I can't believe we're here. We're already to step 5.
Yes.
This is so exciting. I know.
Yes. So just to review, step 1, snap out of your limiting beliefs, and that has to do with your cognition. And remember, the and before the step 1 is all about accepting and admitting that you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step 2 is to snap out, or excuse me, start over. Step 2 is to identify the maladaptive behaviors that are no longer serving you. They may have been used in the past to keep you safe or to help you through the difficult journey of life, but they are no longer serving you. They're maladaptive at this point. Step 3 is to look at the cause of those behaviors and those beliefs. What is the cause? Get curious as to whether the belief that you have about yourself or about the world, did it originate with you? Was it a narrative that you were taught? Is it something that you formed as a result of your journey on the planet? And is it the real belief that you want to hold on to, or is it something that you'd like to change? Identify the cause of the maladaptive behavior. If, for example, you're behaving in a way that used to serve you, but is no longer serving you because it's creating, for example, a negative feedback loop in a relationship. You continue to pursue the same type of relationship and it's no longer serving you. Let's decide if you're going to snap out of that maladaptive behavior, but being curious about the cause of it because it did serve you at some point. We're not judging ourselves. We're using radical self-compassion and self-love. We are looking in the mirror, saying, I love you, doing things that you know are beneficial to your health and well-being. And then step 4, which is the one I most like.
Yeah.
Identify those emotions, feel them emotions, let them energy in motion flow through the body in a manner that's healthy and is constructive for you, whether it's through little bits of bouts of crying or laughing or perspiring or doing behaviors that allow that emotion to be processed through movement or through the help of a witness and a trusted friend. Allow that emotion to pass through the body, because if it doesn't pass through, then as we've learned, the body keeps the score and the emotions stay there and eventually can become a dis-ease, a disease that has to be treated. And certainly we do not want to have to treat an illness. We want to be ahead of the illness or the problems before they actually cause us to be forced to use these tools. And so step 5 is to remember who you are. And Alex alluded to it last week when he said, I am. Do you remember that, Alex?
I do. Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was retelling, or I was talking about, I was sharing how I had experienced the ability to realize my own power, that I am able to regulate, I am able to process my emotions.
Very good. And when you say the words I am, and then a positive intention immediately after those words, the brain hears it. You actually must believe it. Okay. You must believe it. And then the universe creates the environment to support the I am.
I have another example of this.
Go.
May I? Okay.
Of course,
So
please.
as part of going through burn, I did share that how I remember I shared that I put on my mirror, I love you, Alex, as a practice of self-love, as a self-love practice. Additionally, I have laminated pages that were all around my house that were I am statements.
Give some examples.
I am loved. I am powerful. I am successful. I am safe. These were things that I had around my house so that at any moment, no matter where I looked, in any room I was in, there was an I am statement. Because there is a lot of power. It's exactly as you said. When I started saying it enough, especially speaking it out loud, there was a return on it. You could feel it.
Absolutely. The body feels it too.
Yes.
And your environment constructs itself to support the I am statement. And I'm still in the process of researching. As you know, Alex, I research everything.
Yeah.
I'm looking into quantum physics, quantum mechanics. This morning, I was studying the entanglement theory and how that works, how time and space and our conception of these specific aspects of our existence may or may not have been and can be proven. It's really, I know I'm being extremely vague because on purpose I'm being vague and I don't want to talk about it till I know a lot more and I've vetted it. But it is the case that our bodies do remember and hear what we say about ourselves. And so it's just looking backwards and rewinding a bit. We can determine what is our limiting belief by listening to what we're saying to our friends. I'm so, if you say out loud, I'm so stupid, or why did I do? I always A, B, and C.
Yeah.
If we say these things, our body believes it. Our environment creates that in reality for ourselves. I mean, we do create our own reality. And so, and that's also being proven through science. And we'll get more into that when I do the season on quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and how that's being proven today. But what's important is that as we hear ourselves talk and identify a limiting belief about ourselves, please don't dismiss that as, oh, I'm just saying that to be polite, or I'm just saying that to make the other person feel better. Because you're literally cursing yourself. Go back to listen to the podcast about speaking curses, right?
Yeah.
And how we don't say negative things that can curse our children or ourselves and our environment. So the I am statements need to be true about ourselves. And every one of us, just like Padre Harris said, just like Jimmy Lucas said, we all have worth. We are on this planet, which means we are worthy. And even if you don't believe it, it's true about you. So you don't have to believe it yet. Just say it. I'm worthy because it's true about you. And eventually your environment will catch up to the words that you're saying. But it can't just be words out of your mouth. You do need to actually put energy behind it and believe it. And so even if it's difficult for you to believe, even if it's difficult for you or practically impossible for you to believe, keep going, keep doing it. So step 4, we talked about processing those emotions and allowing them to pass through the body in a healthy way. I just want to, I want to talk about another modality that we can use in step 5 that has to do with creating or remembering our identity, our authentically aligned self. Okay?
Okay.
So I don't use plant medicine. Do you, Alex?
No.
Okay.
I do not.
But there are people who do, and they use plant medicine for certain journeys that they go on. I don't necessarily think that you have to go on a plant medicine journey to do a certain exercise. So I'm going to share this exercise with you and the listener and the viewer, as long as the person listening and viewing is safe as they go through this exercise. And so it would be essentially to have your witness or your therapist or your counselor or your friend or some safe person with you. And what you can do when it comes to dealing with that emotion that might have been overwhelming before is to revisit and observe that traumatic event. Remember, the trauma is an event. It's not a feeling. It's an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
As an adult, perhaps through meditation or through another practice that involves a safe person with whom you indulge this activity. So to actually go back in the mind through using your memory and revisit that event, the traumatic event that happened to you. And as an adult, love yourself, the younger form of yourself, and talk to yourself, the younger form of yourself, as though you are protecting that younger form of yourself. And as the memory of the trauma floods the brain, because remember what we learned about with the neuroscience, you're going to have the adrenaline's going to pump, the cortisol's going to pump. You're going through a memory, right?
Yeah.
Allowing the body to process the emotion that is associated with the traumatic event in a manner that is healthy and safe by breathing through it, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when the tears come, or when the perspiration starts, or whatever physiological reaction occurs, the body's literally processing that trapped emotion in a safe, healthy way, in an environment with a guide, so that the movement of the energy of the emotion is released and is completed. So, and I learned this from my studies following Peter Levine, so I do want to give him credit. But let me just, let me quickly review my notes when I was listening to one of his healing summits. He says to revisit and observe as an adult to help your younger self with a new perspective, allow you as the younger person to know that it's over. So that state of being in the traumatic event no longer exists and no longer persists. Remember, we don't want to identify as a survivor of trauma.
Right. Okay.
Unless that identity is serving you and you want to stay stuck. Go ahead. No judgment. Go ahead. Yeah. Or create your new identity, which is a person who lives in liberty and freedom, a human being, not a trauma survivor. And then go on to create whatever beauty you'd like to create in this world if you choose to snap out of it. No more identification with the trauma. Have compassion for yourself. No more self-blame. Remember that you did your best. So then you have the freedom. Once that emotion is processed, and these emotions are processed, it's not a one-time thing. You can create your new identity, your true identity, and it's really not creating, it's remembering. So this sort of goes outside the scope of what we are talking about today because it's more spiritual, but certain people believe, sorry, the dog.
It's okay.
This, it's more spiritual, but certain people believe that we can go back and remember who we are before we came to this earth and why we chose to come on this particular journey, right? So, I mean, I'd love to do a whole podcast on that and bring some more guest speakers. But the identity issue is essentially organizing your brain to have the identity that aligns with your authentic self. And the I am statements that you had talked about last week are the key ingredient, the essential ingredient to help organize the brain for the true identity, the new identity, the aligned, authentic person. So I am. And then come up with any of the statements that you want to be true about yourself.
Yeah.
Because they are true about yourself.
This doesn't have to be part of it. Just curious. Is what you just described, that method, that revisiting an experience as an adult and comforting the younger version, your younger self. Does that have is it called something? What is it called?
Memory.
Memory.
Yeah. I mean, we all have a memory. And whether we blocked it because we dissociated and don't want to think about it, which those thinkers in the room know how to do that. And people do it as a survival technique, right? We have
100%.
Blocks, and we blanked out and blocked out certain things, but the body remembers. The body keeps the memories stored in the system, and they might not even have words associated. It could be nonverbal. I remember processing an emotion that I had from when I was very young, pre-verbal, and the processing of that. I did not do with a guide, unfortunately, and so it had negative consequences. But the truth is, if you process through the help of some support person or team that is safe, you can be set free from those emotions that can keep you trapped and keep you locked in on certain behaviors that you're trying to use to push down those emotions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then remembering that the emotions using motion can be processed in a healthy way, and gives us the freedom to begin living in our bodies again. So many of us today live in our minds. Even if we're feelers, we tend to overthink almost everything.
Yeah.
And so getting into our bodies and doing activities that require our bodies to be engaged is another key in step 5 to identifying one's true nature, one's authentic self. And they also are fun. As a dancer, as a former dancer, I am moving my body again. And I didn't for a long time because I was overly engaged with my career. And how many of us do that, right? But making the different making the space in my routine to move my body and take care of myself physically has been also a key element to identification with the authentic self. Alex, when you are thinking about what you want in this life, what changes and habits have you implemented into your daily routine to be more aligned with your authentic self?
So one of the biggest practices, the biggest shifts I had to do, because mine is a lot of negative internal talk was probably the biggest thing I had to overcome. So I have put into practice that every morning and night, I recite to myself an affirmation that just keeps my head right. And I will do it throughout the day. Also, if I notice myself really this experience, but those of you that don't live in California, driving sometimes out here can really bring out the worst in you. And there are a lot of times on the 405, for instance, where I got to get my mind right. I got to get myself in check. So affirmations were a big one for me. Being able to course correct and get back to grounded by way of affirmations.
That's really helpful. And I like that. And believing what you say when you say it is a key element to the affirmations, because if you don't put energy toward what you're saying, then the affirmations are just rote and they don't really do the job that they were intended to do. I was at the pool the other day with one of my neighbors, and she made a comment that I said, I'm going to use that on the podcast. I said, she's a younger person. She's a lot younger. And I said to her, how did you get so well balanced and grounded at such a young age? And her comment was, I regulate my nervous system. And I thought about that because that's what I've been doing as I've gotten healed and am still working on my healing journey from some of the pain that I've suffered in this lifetime. And so I thought about, what do I do on a daily basis to journey in my authenticity? And the regulation of my nervous system has been one of the habits that I've implemented. So, ways a person can regulate their nervous system is very self-explanatory. Using exercise on a regular basis, meditation, yoga, perspiration like saunas or infrared saunas.
Infrared therapy, yeah.
Infrared therapy is great. We're not, supporting or endorsing any particular modality. Hiking, being in nature, being in water. I use hot showers on a regular basis as a regulation of my nervous system. And I know that when I'm feeling overly stressed, my body gets cold actually. Even in a warm summer day, and I'll go stand under a hot shower for a few minutes to calm my nervous system, regulate my nervous system. And I thought it was very insightful of this fabulous person to say that, because I thought, how many of us have hundreds of tools that we can use? And so I'd like to have people in the comments give us some more ideas about how you, in a healthy way, regulate your nervous system with adaptive behaviors. Other adaptive behaviors include petting a pet or an animal. Horses and equine therapy is a very effective tool.
Very, yeah.
Using creative outlets like dancing, singing, composing, music, acting, and other theatrical or performing arts outlets are a way of regulating the nervous system. What else can you think of, Alex, for our listeners and viewers? And feel free, those of you who are watching, chime in on the comments right now. Go ahead, Alex.
I know journaling is a big one. Writing out all of the things you're thinking. That's a big one for my partner in particular. I know another way that I like to regulate is I have curated playlists that I will go to that help me through particular different things, right? Like music is so healing, and maybe not for everyone, but specifically me. I think a lot of people actually.
It is.
And depending on what you're trying to work through or the feeling you want to feel, a playlist is so good for fueling that or helping you through it. And I found that to be incredibly helpful for me.
And as you say that, I think about aromatherapy and ways in which scents can unlock, because we are really trying to unlock other areas of the brain so that we're not stuck in our frontal cortex. We talked about the brain in a previous episode and how our logical, analytical thinking brain sometimes takes over and sometimes it doesn't. Again, remember, when we are reacting from our primitive brain, we're in the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response, but we can regulate our bodies through deep breathing, for example, in order to get into our thinking mind. But then remember that part of who we are authentically is expressed in the body, is felt in the physical body. And so, like we talked about last week, those emotions that are flowing through the body or trapped in the body have an important role to play. So when we pay attention to our body, our shoulders that are tense, or our neck pain, or our back pain, or what's happening in our stomach, we can then also authentically align with ourselves through discovering, through compassion, identifying the cause, and being curious, what role is that serving, and how do we move out of that into a healthy identification with our authenticity? So, for example, with me, I find myself holding my stomach when I'm stressed out at work, talking about a child that's in loyalty conflict or being abused in some way by a parent in a custody dispute, where it causes me tremendous anxiety and stress, and I feel it. I'm even holding my stomach right now, just talking about it. So what I have to do is then regulate my system after having gone through that experience, and I get off the phone or stop talking about the stressor, and I go and do something else to regulate myself. Making a healthy meal drinking plenty of healthy living water, eating, juicing and eating healthy vegetables, caring for my digestive system, caring for my physical body through massage or physical touch, not only petting my dog, but also sometimes going and splurging and getting that massage. It would be lovely if I could have a massage every day.
Yes.
Lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, big
right?
one. Yeah.
There are so many ways in which we can regulate our nervous system. And then by affirming who we are as worthy human beings on this planet, we are setting ourselves up to align with our true identity. I tell my clients this oftentimes, because when you're in something, it's hard sort of to see with a bigger perspective. But if you think of yourself as 10,000 feet above an event, and you can see the entire thing from start to finish, like a parade, for example, then that one event that's inside the entire parade can be understood more easily. And so if our mentality is, well, this event, whatever it was, happened for me, not to me, but for me, for my good, it completely reframes the narrative. Now, sometimes that's a stretch.
Sure.
It may be very difficult to see and say, well, the loss of my partner, for example, happened for my good. How can that be?
Right.
It's a nightmare sometimes to even think that. And how can I even dare to say that? And I don't want viewers and listeners to decide to leave. Oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But I have enough life experience to see now that the events that I perceive as negative that happened to me in my mind actually did happen for me. And I challenge you as a viewer and a listener to look back at those things that you thought were so bad and try to find the good in why that happened to you. And if you don't have the answer, perhaps ask that trusted friend, or even go to your accountability partner at this point. Why do you think such and such happened to me? How does that align with my authentic self? How does that event from that trauma from my past align with who I am today, or shape who I became today? It's a very challenging question.
Because I think too, if I may interject, it's how did this shape me without accepting that it defined who you are?
Exactly.
Right?
Because if you want to live in the cage, let it define you.
Correct. It is, I think, a really fine line between letting an event, a trauma, define who you are versus shaped who you became.
Right.
Do you agree with that? Does that make
100%.
sense? Okay.
Yes. Well, and, there's an expression, there's a reason for everything, right? Whether you believe that expression or not, there can be a positive outcome for every perceived negative event, but you must create it sometimes. So last week we talked about my experience with regard to my children, actually. How can the loss of children for a parent benefit that person? And that's a question I'm still answering. But I will tell you that having lost children myself, I have gained and saved children for others by the multitude. So some people might say that was a benefit. It's a huge cost.
Yeah.
If I could go back, I might not have chosen that path. I might not have chosen the path that led to the difficult experiences that I've walked through. But I can say now, as a person on the other side, that the joy and the peace that I experience on a daily basis with the freedom and the authenticity in which I live cannot be replaced. And I'm not saying that I would want to lose who's important to me in order to feel joy and peace today, because I think I would have chosen not to have gone this direction.
Hmm.
But there's a real phenomenon in family court today and in the world today where children cut ties with their previously loved parent, and there may or may not be a legitimate reason for it. It may just be. And so my having gone through this experience may benefit someone who is ready to end their journey, and they may see this and say, wow, I'm going through it as well. And then go on to create something that can benefit the world. For example, a couple of examples of people who've used trauma, let me just share with you, that have gone on to benefit the world in some way. Isaac Newton is one. And, as we all know, he went on to use math and changed the world regarding physics. And another example of someone who used a traumatic event to change history and culture as we know it is J.K. Rowling. She's the author of the Harry Potter books. And so we can help each other on this journey. And it happened for us. Mm-hmm. And there can be and is good or perceived benefit that comes out of all of our experiences. And as a group, as a race, as a human consciousness, we are all connected.
Yeah.
And this is being proven in research and quantum physics and quantum mechanics even now.
Yep.
And so as we raise others' awareness and as we raise the consciousness of our fellow human beings, then we can raise the consciousness of this planet and really change our experience. And so I hope that this little corner of the world resonates, and that there can be some freedom and authenticity that comes out of it for those who are listening and spending their time viewing what we have to share.
I love that. Yes, let's raise the collective consciousness. It's very powerful. Wow.
We're doing it in service.
Absolutely. That's something that we talked about before beginning this whole journey together, was that you have felt this strong calling to help people. That's always kind of been your baseline through your life. And that resonates with me as well. And I know I know for a fact that is the effects that this show is having on people right now, just based off the feedback we're getting so far. And so it brings me a lot of comfort, and it brings me a lot of hope for anyone listening, that life is not easy. Life is full of challenges, but you can absolutely become whatever it is you want to become, and overcome whatever it is that you've gone through.
That's true. That's right. I was just thinking about time when I wore a blonde wig.
Hold on. Tell me this. Talk more about that.
I decided to wear a blonde wig and see what kind of reaction I got from the people around me. It was a completely different reality.
Okay, so you're natural dark brunette?
Yes. Well, I mean, I have highlights.
Yes,
The hairdresser, I mean, like at UCLA when I was on television, and then again when I danced for the NBA, all the hairdressers always wanted to make me blonder. So really? I just darkened it a little bit. Yeah. But there's a completely different reaction when you walk through the world looking a certain way. A completely different reaction.
Yes. This I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've seen you with your hair long. That's
exactly what I'm referring to. Yeah. It's pretty wild because a long to short hair is dramatic even on a guy, especially on women, but on men, like to go from a long haircut to a short haircut. Yeah, it is funny. And people love to give their opinion about it.
I know, right?
They love to let you know what they think about it. It's so funny.
So as we wrap up this season of Triple Threat Snap Out with Ginger Griffin, and we've gone through the 5 steps of how to snap out of limiting beliefs and maladaptive behaviors, looking at the cause with compassion toward oneself, with curiosity, deciding whether those beliefs and those behaviors are still serving you. And if not, deal with the emotions through the body by moving and processing those emotions, and then moving into aligning with one's true self by co-creating your reality and remembering who you are. Give us some comments about what you'd like to see next. I really want to keep the content as limited sort of to what I've experienced personally, but I am actively researching quantum physics and quantum mechanics, as I've talked about before.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak on something that I don't know a whole lot about. But as I've said, I'm not an expert. I'm not trying to come off as an expert. I'm sharing my experience and my strength and my hope for those of you who may be able to benefit from what I've gone through, so that you don't have to go to the same levels of depth of sadness or despair. And at the same time, we want to engage the viewer and the listener, because we're in this together. And so I will be promoting my book. It's coming out in the next few months. So that's going to be one of our contents for the podcast. But let us know in the comments what you'd like for us to talk about, and what perspective we can help bring to some of the challenges that you face in your life today. And again, remember, let us know how you're regulating.
Yes.
And furthermore, Alex, I do want to say that even though we have talked about regulating oneself through movement and other types of modalities, there will be a time when we talk about co-regulation.
Co-regulation.
Yes. How does Chad help you regulate, and how do we co-regulate in a community? Because we all need that connection. So that's coming in the future.
That is a whole, I would love, I want to dive into that.
Absolutely.
I've of course experienced that, but I've not heard that term like that. So this is exciting.
Right. So how can we form connections with a community or a partner and co-regulate? And since you're the one in the relationship right now, you can speak to that, and I can speak to community connection and other ways of connecting in order to co-regulate, so that we can raise our awareness and vibrate at a frequency that resonates in a higher level, so that we align with our authentic selves.
Amen. I'm so excited too. I think I definitely want to piggyback on what Ginger said, encourage you to drop comments and questions. I'm starting to gather those now, because we're going to have enough to have a full episode to kind of dive into some of the comments that people are making. And I think that's really exciting. It's equal parts encouraging and exciting to see that this is resonating with people, and let's talk about it. I love that we are trying to curate an open dialogue with our community that we're building over here on Triple Threat. So please get into the conversation. Like, definitely drop us a comment. If you're listening, by the way, on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, or any of the listening platforms, there is a link underneath every episode where you can email us directly. It goes to our pod hub so that we can both see it, and we would love to hear from you. It's a simple one click, and then you can send us a message to get into the conversation.
We're building a community, and we're in this together, and we're doing this in a tactical way so that we can all lift one another up. So we do encourage the comments, the questions, and we hope that you are able to reach out and take that next step.
Yes.
Snap out of it. Triple threat. Yeah.
Triple
take that
threat.
next step. Yeah.
We're here with you.
We are, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Have a great week, everyone.
Be well.